Before you start that crypto investment, you need to understand how crypto scams operates so you will be able to identify one, because awareness and vigilance can mean the difference between safeguarding your investments and becoming another statistic. Welcome to our channel, your trusted source for financial literacy and protection against scams, corporate fraud, and financial misconduct. Today, we are rediving into a critical topic that continues to impact thousands of investors worldwide: cryptocurrency scams. Over the past decade, the rapid rise of digital currencies has created unprecedented opportunities for wealth creation. But with innovation comes risk, especially from unscrupulous actors who exploit trust, technology, and the allure of quick profits to defraud unsuspecting investors. What's alarming is that despite numerous high-profile crypto scandals making headlines, people continue to fall victim to remarkably similar scams. New fraudulent platforms emerge, repackaging old tricks with fresh narratives tailored to current market conditions and economic climates. The schemes evolve, but the core strategy remains the same: promise extraordinary returns, build false credibility, and disappear with investors' money. In this video, we aim to educate and empower you by exposing 5 of the most notorious crypto scams in recent history. These cases serve not only as cautionary tales, but as essential lessons in recognizing the patterns and warning signs that precede financial disaster. We will begin with the less devastating but no less deceptive scams and progress toward those that resulted in billions lost and shattered lives, cases where trust was exploited on a massive scale. By understanding how these scams operated, how they gained the confidence of millions, and how they eventually unraveled, you will be better equipped to protect your assets and make informed decisions in the complex world of cryptocurrency. Remember, financial literacy is the first line of defense against fraud. Awareness and vigilance can mean the difference between safeguarding your investments and becoming another statistic. Stay with us as we reveal the truth behind these infamous crypto scams, so you can stay one step ahead of fraudsters and safeguard your financial future. Number 1 is the fall of Sam Bankman-Fried's empire. Sam Bankman-Fried founded FTX in 2019. In just a few short years, he went from an unknown MIT grad to the king of crypto, hailed as a genius, a philanthropist, and the future of finance. He was everywhere. On magazine covers, at global conferences, rubbing shoulders with politicians and celebrities, and at the heart of it all, FTX, a sleek, modern crypto exchange that promised safety, speed, and innovation. People believed him, they trusted him, they poured in their money. But while the world applauded, a silent betrayal was unfolding behind the scenes. FTX wasn't just another tech startup, it was a carefully constructed illusion. A house of cards propped up by customer funds that were secretly funneled into Alameda Research, a trading firm also owned by Sam. Those deposits? They weren't safe. They were being gambled away, spent on luxury penthouses, campaign donations, and wild trades that had nothing to do with customers' best interests. Then, it all came crashing down. In November 2022, the truth exploded into the public. There was an $8 billion hole in FTX's books. Withdrawals were frozen, panic set in, and in a matter of days, FTX was dead. The empire was gone. Billions lost, lives upended, and the so-called genius arrested, tried. And in 2023, found guilty of fraud, conspiracy, and deception on a historic scale. The rise of Sam Bankman-Fried was fast, but his fall was faster, and the wreckage he left behind is still rippling through the crypto world today. FTX wasn't just a collapse, it was a warning. In a space built on trust and innovation, when greed goes unchecked, no one is safe. In 2014, a woman in a red dress stepped onto a London stage and changed the course of crypto history. Her name was Ruja Ignatova, a Bulgarian businesswoman with a PhD, a flawless accent, and a dream that promised to make the world rich. She called herself the Crypto Queen. And her invention? OneCoin, and the so-called revolutionary cryptocurrency that would rival Bitcoin and bank the unbanked DAO of the world. Ruja promised everything: fast profits, financial freedom, and a chance to be part of the next digital gold rush. She spoke with passion, confidence, elegance. People from over 175 countries bought into the dream. From small villages in Africa to packed halls in Europe and Asia, they emptied their savings, mortgaged their homes, and recruited their friends, all for OneCoin. But there was one problem. OneCoin never had a blockchain. No public ledger, no decentralized system, no way to actually trade or verify anything. It was never a cryptocurrency. It was a massive global Ponzi scheme disguised as an investment education platform. Behind the scenes, OneCoin was printing fake tokens, manipulating prices, and funneling billions of dollars into private accounts. And then, in 2017, just as investigators closed in, Ruja vanished. She boarded a Ryanair flight from Sofia, Bulgaria to Athens and has never been seen since. To this day, no one knows where she is. The FBI has placed her on its most wanted list. Interpol is chasing her across continents, but the crypto queen remains a ghost. OneCoin stole over $4 billion from innocent people around the world. It left families bankrupt, dreams shattered, and a chilling reminder: in the wrong hands, belief can become a weapon. OneCoin wasn't just a scam. It was a global illusion, sold by a woman who knew exactly what people wanted to hear and used it to disappear with everything. The number 3 on my list is BitConnect, 2016-2018, the meme coin that became a scam. BitConnect was a project full of hype, strange twists, and ended in disaster. Even years later, its collapse is still what many think of when they hear crypto scam. It all started with one tempting promise that proved to be too good to be true. Invest in BitConnect and earn 1% returns daily, guaranteed. That's 365% a year, more than the stock market, more than hedge funds, more than anything in traditional finance. But BitConnect didn't market itself like your average investment firm. No, this was crypto theater. The platform was marketed as a lending program. You would hand over your Bitcoin to BitConnect, and in return you'd receive BitConnect tokens, or BCC. Those tokens would be lent out to a mysterious trading bot, an all-powerful algorithm that supposedly made profits in any market condition, up, down, sideways. No matter what happened, you got paid. It sounded too good to be true, and it was. But logic didn't matter, because BitConnect didn't rise on fundamentals, it rose on hype. The company launched a viral marketing campaign powered by YouTube influencers, MLM-style recruitment, and cult-like conferences. And who could forget the unforgettable Carlos Matos, the man whose over-the-top chant, "Bitcoinit," turned into a global meme. His speech became internet legend, dripping in absurdity and laced with the kind of blind faith that made BitConnect soar. By late 2017, BitConnect's market cap ballooned to over $2.5 billion. Its token price skyrocketed to nearly $500. But beneath the surface, it was all smoke and mirrors. BitConnect's so-called trading bot? It never existed. The guaranteed returns? They weren't generated by profit. They were paid from the money of new investors. A textbook Ponzi scheme. Early users were paid with the deposits of those who joined later, and as long as new people kept coming in, the illusion held. But then came the fall. In January 2018, regulators from Texas and North Carolina issued cease and desist orders. They saw through the sham. Confidence cracked. Panic spread. And just like that, BitConnect shut down its lending and exchange platform. The price of BCC plummeted, crashing from $500 to below $1 in days. Over $1 billion in investor money evaporated. Lives were ruined, dreams crushed. And the internet? It watched it all unfold in real time, a scam that became a joke and then a tragedy. Many of BitConnect's promoters were later sued or investigated. Some disappeared, some cashed out. Others pretended nothing happened. But the people who truly paid the price were everyday investors, lured in by promises of fast money, viral videos, and fake success stories. BitConnect wasn't just a scam. It was a warning in flashing red lights that in the world of crypto, where regulation lags and hype moves fast, scams don't always wear masks. Sometimes they wear smiles. They shout on stage, they sing in broken English, and they laugh all the way to the bank. The next time you see guaranteed returns in crypto, remember the name BitConnect. The number 4 crypto scam is the exchange that lost 850,000 bitcoins in 2014, Mt. 2014. Before there were memes, moonshots, and Dogecoin millionaires, there was Mt. the very heart of Bitcoin's early world. Founded in 2010 by Jed McCaleb and later sold to a French developer named Mark Karpeles, Mt. was never built to handle the weight of a financial revolution. Ironically, the site originally stood for Magic, the Gathering online exchange, a place to trade fantasy cards. But within just a few years, it transformed into the biggest Bitcoin exchange on the planet, handling over 70% of all global Bitcoin transactions. It was massive, it was dominant, and it was a ticking time bomb. From the outside, Mt. looked like a gateway to crypto riches, but behind the curtain, it was a digital disaster waiting to happen. Security systems were weak, internal controls were sloppy, Karpeles himself, more of a coder than a CEO, was in way over his head. Then came February 2014. A single message shook the crypto world. Mt. has suspended trading. No one knew what was happening. Accounts were frozen. Customer support vanished. And then, the truth came crashing down. 850,000 bitcoins had vanished. At the time, that was worth nearly $500 million. Today, it would be worth over $50 billion. Some of it was due to hacking, yes. Mt. had been silently bleeding coins for years due to security breaches that went unnoticed. But part of the loss? Pure mismanagement. Poorly maintained wallets, bad accounting, a leadership team that didn't even know how much Bitcoin they were supposed to have. It was chaos. And it destroyed faith in crypto overnight. People who had stored their life savings on Mt. were left with nothing. Suicides were reported. Protests erupted in Japan. Crypto's reputation, still young and fragile, was shattered. Mark Karpeles was arrested. He faced charges of embezzlement and data manipulation. Though he denied stealing the coins, he admitted to the incompetence that let it all happen. And while some small portion of the lost Bitcoin was eventually recovered, the damage was done. Mt. became the first major trust crisis in crypto history. A harsh, brutal lesson in the importance of security, transparency, and not leaving your crypto on centralized exchanges. It sparked a movement. Crypto enthusiasts coined the phrase, "Not your keys, not your coins." The Mt. collapse wasn't just a hack. It was a reckoning, a wake-up call that even the most powerful names in crypto could fall, and take the dreams of thousands down with them. And as the industry grew, Mt. remained a ghost, a cautionary tale of what happens when digital gold is stored in a house of cards. And the last on the list is Quadriga CX 2019, locked out forever. It was January 2019 when the crypto world was hit with a headline that didn't make sense. CEO of Canada's largest crypto exchange dies suddenly in India. $190 million goes missing. Gerald Cotton, the 30-year-old founder and CEO of Quadriga CX, was reportedly dead, passed away due to complications from Crohn AS disease while on a honeymoon in India. But that wasn't the shocking part. What stunned the world was what followed. He died with the passwords. You heard that right. Cotton was the only person who had access to the encrypted cold wallets, the digital vaults holding over $190 million in Bitcoin, Ethereum, and other cryptocurrencies belonging to 115,000 users. And just like that, the money was gone. Locked in a digital tomb, inaccessible, untouchable, possibly forever. At first, the story seemed like a tragic accident, but then the questions began. Why did Cotton suddenly write a will just 12 days before his death? Why was the death certificate issued by a small hospital in India under a misspelled name? Why couldn't anyone find the funds in any known wallet? Investigators dug in, and the deeper they went, the darker the story became. The wallets? They were empty. Many hadn't held funds for months before his death. Some had been drained and transferred through mixers to cover tracks. This wasn't an accident. This was a scheme. Cotton had been moving customer funds around for years, using them to speculate on risky trades, cover operational expenses, and perhaps even fund a lavish lifestyle. Quadriga was essentially a Ponzi scheme wearing a tech hoodie. By the time the truth began to surface, the damage was irreversible. Customers, everyday people who had trusted Cotton's exchange, were ruined. Some had invested life savings. Some had borrowed to invest. They were left with empty accounts and even emptier answers. To this day, speculation swirls. Some believe Cotton is still alive, hiding under a new identity. Others think he faked his own death and ran off with the money. A Netflix documentary, Trust No One: The Hunt for the Crypto King, reignited global curiosity, but offered no closure. $190 million gone. No arrests, no clear accountability, just rumors and grief. The Quadriga CX disaster taught the crypto world a brutal lesson about centralized control, lack of oversight, and blind trust. Because in this space, a single point of failure can mean the loss of millions. And if you're not careful, your digital fortune might vanish with someone else's last breath. The stories of FTX, OneCoin, BitConnect, Mt. Gox, and Quadriga CX are not just headlines or cautionary tales. They are powerful reminders of the risks lurking in the rapidly evolving world of cryptocurrency. Each case reveals a unique pattern of deception, from misuse of funds and Ponzi schemes to tragic mismanagement and outright fraud. These scams have cost investors billions of dollars. But the good news is, these stories also teach us a lot about what to watch out for. The lessons they teach us empower us to navigate the crypto landscape with eyes wide open and a healthy dose of skepticism. Financial literacy, vigilance, and critical thinking remain our best defenses. 10 lessons to identify and avoid crypto scams. Number 1. Beware of guaranteed returns. No legitimate investment can guarantee consistent, high returns without risk. Promises of guaranteed profits are a classic red flag. Take BitConnect, for example. They promised crazy guaranteed returns, which should have raised red flags immediately. No investment is a sure thing. Number 2. Research the team. Know who you are trusting your money with. Verify the founders and leadership. Anonymous or unverifiable founders often signal trouble. Legitimate projects have transparent teams. FTX looked solid because of Sam Bankman-Fried's public image, but behind the scenes there was a lot of mismanagement. Always check the people behind a project. Number 3, check for regulatory compliance. Legitimate exchanges and investment platforms operate within regulatory frameworks. Lack of licenses or regulatory oversight is a warning sign. OneCoin was able to run rampant partly because it operated outside any real oversight. Legit platforms usually follow some kind of legal rules or regulations. Number 4, avoid overhyped promotions. Be cautious of projects aggressively marketed with flashy events, viral videos, or celebrity endorsements that seem too good to be true. BitConnect's massive online promotion and YouTube hype pulled in lots of people who didn't stop to ask questions. If you feel pushed or dazzled, slow down and research more. Number 5. Understand the technology. Genuine cryptocurrencies run on verifiable blockchain technology. Projects without a functioning blockchain or technical white papers deserve scrutiny. OneCoin promised revolutionary tech, but didn't even have a real blockchain. If a project can't explain what it does clearly, be skeptical. Number 6. Watch for centralized control. Projects where a single individual or small group controls all funds or wallets increase the risk of fraud or loss. Quadriga CX's entire $190 million was locked up because only one person had the passwords. It's a huge risk when one person controls all the keys. Number 7. Transparency matters. Legitimate companies provide clear financial statements, audits, and regular updates. Lack of transparency often hides deeper issues. FTX lacked transparency around its financials and its relationship with Alameda Research, hiding the true state of its funds until it was too late. Number 8. Be wary of complex structures. If a project's business model or technology is confusing or intentionally complicated, take it as a caution. Many Ponzi schemes, including OneCoin and BitConnect, rely on complex-sounding promises that don't really make sense when you dig deeper. Number 9. Trust your instincts. If something feels off, don't ignore it. Do additional research or seek advice before investing. If something feels off or you can't verify the details, it's okay to step back. Don't let fear of missing out push you into risky decisions. Number 10. Secure your assets. Use trusted wallets, enable two-factor authentication, and never share your private keys or passwords. Remember, in crypto, you are your own bank. MinuteGox showed us what happens when exchanges get hacked or mismanage funds. Whenever possible, keep control of your private keys and use secure wallets. Now you know how you can safeguard your investments and avoid falling victim to the traps that ensnared so many before. Crypto holds immense potential, but it demands respect, caution, and continuous education. Thank you for watching. Stay informed, stay vigilant, and protect your financial future. If you would like to educate your friends and family, you can use the share button. If you would like to hear from us again, please subscribe to our channel and turn on the notification bell. See you in the next video.